Welcome friends for yet another lecture on pneumonia. This lecture is fourth one in the series of pneumonia. So in last lecture we studied about lobar pneumonia, and in today's lecture we will study about lobular pneumonia. So there is difference between lobar pneumonia and lobular pneumonia. Okay. So first of all, lobular pneumonia is also known as bronchopneumonia, and why it is called as lobular pneumonia. So you must know that a lobule is a small lobe. A small lobe is called as lobule, and a lobe is complete lobe. And when a small part is affected, it is called as lobular. So in lobar pneumonia, the whole lobe was affected, and in lobular pneumonia, only a small part or some part of the lobe is affected. So it is called as lobular pneumonia. So this is the difference. Lobar pneumonia, complete lobe is affected, and lobular pneumonia, a small part is affected, small lobe is affected. Okay. Now coming to bronchopneumonia, as already stated, that it is also called as bronchopneumonia. So why it is called as bronchopneumonia? Because it affects terminal bronchioles. So from these bronchioles, the name given bronchopneumonia. Okay. So below I have attached images of location of terminal bronchioles and gross appearance of lobar pneumonia and lobular pneumonia to easily understand what is the difference. So here is first image on gross appearance of lobular pneumonia and lobar pneumonia. As you can see, let's here this is lobular pneumonia, and only small parts of the lobe are affected. Okay, not complete lobe. And here it is lobar pneumonia, and a complete lobe is affected. So this is what I was stating, that in lobar pneumonia complete lobe is affected, and in lobular pneumonia only a part of the lobe is affected. Okay. Now coming back to second image. This image already I have shown you in first or second lecture about location of terminal bronchioles. Okay. So here it is. This part is 1 minute. This part is terminal bronchiole. Okay. So this is the location of terminal bronchiole, and infection here is called as that is why it is called as bronchopneumonia. Okay. Now coming to etiology or causes. So common organisms responsible for bronchopneumonia are Staphylococci, Streptococci, Pneumococci, Klebsiella pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenzae, and gram-negative bacilli like Pseudomonas and coliform bacteria. Okay. Now next thing is morphological appearance. So first of all, gross appearance. So in gross appearance, first thing to note is that lobular pneumonia generally affects both sides of the lung. Okay, both right and left lungs are involved more commonly. It occurs unilaterally also, like in one lung only, but it is less common. Normally, both lungs are involved. So what happens is when you see affected lung by naked eye, then you will see that it is there will be gray red color patchy consolidation with intervening normal lung tissue. What does this mean? Patches means the thing which is not continuous, which is in patches, like some part is abnormal, some part is diseased, then some part is normal, and again some part is diseased, then again some part normal, like you have seen in this image. This image, there are some parts are diseased, and in intervening parts some parts are normal also. Okay. So this is called as patchy. Okay. Second point to note in gross appearance is uh, how disease part looks. So it looks nodular, it is elevated, it is edematous, it is there is hemorrhagic purulent areas. Okay. And third thing is lesion is more extensive at the base of the lung. Why it happens? Because the discharge, the purulent discharge which happens in this due to gravity, it comes down to base of the lungs due to gravitational force. So when you see the lung, you will see that most of the pus is in on the base of the lung because due to gravity. And what happens is uh, there are many patches, and these discharge and patches fuse together. And as we know that in lobular pneumonia, intervening lungs tissues are normal, some part is abnormal and some part are normal. But there are, if many patches, then they fuse together, and by naked eye you can it looks like whole complete lobe is involved. But in fact it is not complete lobe that is involved. It is different parts of the lobe is involved, but they have fused it together. So it resembles, it looks like lobar pneumonia, but it is not. So in the second lecture, in pneumonia classification, we have seen that three types of pneumonia, that is lobar, lobular and confluent. So this is confluent pneumonia, that is when lobular pneumonia looks like lobar pneumonia, it is called as confluent pneumonia because both of the features are seen in this. Okay. Now coming to microscopic features. So first one is there will be signs of acute bronchiolitis. Bronchiolitis is inflammation of bronchioles, and bronchial wall is what signs, what things you will see. You will see that bronchial walls is infiltrated with polymorphs. All these things are seen in inflammation. Okay. Polymers are seen in bronchial wall, blood vessels are congested, and bronchial lumen contains pus and desquamated epithelium. So these are signs of acute bronchiolitis. Desquamated epithelium means, desquamation means peeling off. Something is shaded like skin, that is called as desquamated. So epithelium is peeled, epithelium is desquamated, or epithelium is shed. Okay. Further, purulent exudate will be seen, and there will be thickening of alveolar septa. Septa is wall. Septa means wall. Okay. Now coming to complications. So first complication is pulmonary fibrosis. Uh, we have already know that whenever there is inflammation or infection, so after the inflammation resolves, infection gone, body tries to heal. So healing process normally occurs by fibrosis or scar tissues. So these are hard tissues. So the affected part becomes scarred, and there is the fibrosis because normal tissues are replaced by fibrous tissues. Okay. So there will be scarring and fibrosis of lung tissues, that is called as pulmonary fibrosis. It is occurs due to healing process. Second complication is bronchiectasis. And what is bronchiectasis? Bronchiectasis is a disease in which there is permanent enlargement of parts of the airways of the lungs. Okay, so bronchus etc. gets enlarged permanently. That is called as bronchiectasis. Third complication is lung abscess. It is clear. It is a bacterial infection. There will be abscess formation. And fourth complication is empyema. Again, it is related with bacterial pus formation. It is empyema is collection of pus in pleural cavity. And fifth one is bacteremia with abscess in other organs. So bacteremia, you already know that circulation of bacteria in blood is called as bacteremia. So if bacteria follows with circulation, blood circulation, they will go to other organs and produce infection there. Okay. Now clinical features. So first thing to note is that it is common in extremities of the ages. Like extremities means like two young children or two old persons. Generally not seen in adults. It is seen in infants and elderly individuals. So initially patient comes when, so you will see initially 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 days there will be symptoms of acute bronchitis. Okay, and after 3 4 days sign and symptoms of lobar pneumonia will appear. So its symptoms are similar to acute bronchitis in early days, and later its sign and symptoms are similar to lobar pneumonia. Okay, so this was lobular pneumonia. Now there are some points to differentiate between lobar pneumonia and lobular pneumonia, like age. So lobar pneumonia occurs in young adults, and lobular pneumonia, as just I said, it occurs at extremes of ages. And organism, causative organism in lobar pneumonia, it is mostly pneumococci. In lobular pneumonia, there are many organisms which I already stated. Third point is gross appearance. So lobar pneumonia affects one or more than one lobe, and it is diffuse. That means complete lobe will be seen as diseased. But in lobular pneumonia, you will see that some areas are normal and some areas are diseased. Then types of inflammation. In lobar pneumonia, it is fibrinous inflammation, and in lobular pneumonia, it is suppurative inflammation. And mode of healing. So in lobar pneumonia, resolution occurs in most of the cases. That means patient gets healed. And in lobular pneumonia, lysis and complications are most common. That is, it is more dangerous than lobar. Lobar is easily healed, and lobular is more dangerous. So this was the differences between lobar pneumonia and lobular pneumonia, and this was our lecture on lobular pneumonia. So that is it for today. Thanks. In next lecture we will talk about rest of the types of pneumonia, and those are non-infection types of pneumonia. Okay. Okay, thank you.